Dear viewers of CMG, good afternoon. I'm Gu Peng, and right now I'm at Yanqi County of BeiDou Prefecture of Xinjiang. I'm right now at a tomato replanting field. Because of the long hours of sunshine and the drastic temperature differences of the day, it's very suitable to grow tomato here. And right now, the farmers are busy with tomato replanting. You can see that the driving tractors that pulling the replanting machine, and right now, and this year, they have utilized the new type of replanting machine. And you can see that the farmers just need to sit at the back part of the machine and put the planting plate into the machine so that the little sprout of the tomatoes can be sorted and then precisely planted into the field. And you can see that such automated replanting machine, they are able to handle the selection of seedlings, soil loosening, and pressing of the soil. Compared to traditional labor work, this machine is able to handle 20 mu of land one day. But traditionally, for any single farmer, they can only handle 2 mu of land every day. But the machine requires coordination between 2 to 3 farmers. But in our analysis, it has enhanced the speed and efficiency of replanting. To give you more about the replanting of tomato in BeiDou, we have a guest with us, Mr. Jin from the mechanization department of Xinjiang. So good afternoon. Please say hello to our viewers. Good afternoon. My name is Jin Ruocheng. I'm head of the Technology Promotion Center of Agriculture Mechanization Development Center of Xinjiang BeiDou. So we can see that the tomato replanting season has arrived, and how big of a land are we talking about? So we're talking about roughly 20 mu of land in this part of the Xinjiang. So we have seen that those tractors, they are following a designated lane. Are you using BeiDou navigation technology, and is that improving your efficiency? Yes. You can see that the tractors, they are pulling the BeiDou navigation system. And if you watch closely, you will see a round-shaped antenna at the top. And we also have a digital panel inside the driver's cabin. And we can utilize the BeiDou navigation system. And this system is able to ensure a error margin of 2.5 centimeters within every 1,000 meters. So this is high-level precision, which can ensure high-quality replanting. So how is the navigation system applied in agriculture? So right now, in terms of planting and harvesting and field management, we are all using this system. So with the help of this navigation system, you said that we can improve the overall efficiency and quality of plantation. But compared with traditional labor work, what are the advantages and what kind of endeavors have we engaged? Well, traditionally, this is done by human labor. So you need to squat onto the ground, and you need to take the seedlings from the plate and then dig a hole and put the sprout in the hole and then press the soil. So this is quite labor intensive. So that is why the Agriculture Mechanization Center starts to consider about developing this replanting machine. So at the very first stage, we reduced some labor use or inputs. We were able to handle 10 mu of land each and every day, so we got in contact with certain enterprises and made meaningful breakthroughs in this replanting machine. And right now, this machine is able to automatically select the seedlings, loosen the soil, cover the sprouts, and press the soil, so it can complete the whole process. The efficiency is quite extraordinary, and according to our measurements and according to data that we obtain from the field and each and every day, we can handle 30 mu of land. So you can see that we have a couple of tractors, and the replanting machine is coming our way. And if you watch closely, when the tractor passes the irrigation belt, the replanting machine is elevated because we have a blade that is attached to the front part of the machine. So you can see that when we pass the irrigation belt, the replanting part of the machine will be elevated. So you talked about how your technology evolved over the years, and for agriculture mechanization, and when you were spreading some new technologies, were there any obstacles or challenges? So we have to ensure that we have highly qualified drivers and operators of the machine. We are talking about a trend of mechanization and smart agriculture, so we need to have qualified operators. And if you're too old and not well educated, then it might be a challenge. So do you need to go through some trainings? Yes, we have to give them trainings. We have to let them familiarize with the machine. And you can see that on our left side, and we have some tomato sprouts, and this is done in a very standardized way. So, Director Jin, how do you ensure reasonable row spacing and plant spacing? Well, according to the standard, we have a field furrow spacing of 1.2 meters, and the row spacing should be 50 centimeters, and the plant spacing should be 20 centimeters. So, in order to meet this requirement, you need to have some advanced navigation system like the BeiDou. And traditionally, if you want to drive a straight line, you need to rely on the benchmark, and you also need to have rulers that measure the spacing all the time. But with the BeiDou navigation system, the young operators, with some basic training and with this advanced technology, they are able to ensure a straight line. So this is the sprout that is just been replanted, and you can see that it's a little bit wilted because of the high temperature. So when do you plan to water this sprout? So we are right now on a field that is 100 mu, and we have 6 replanting machines. In the afternoon, we will finish replanting this whole field, and then immediately we will water this field so as to ensure 100% success rate. So how much water do you plan to pour into this field? So we have to do it immediately, and if the replanting finishes, we have to do that within 12 hours because in Xinjiang it's very dry, and if you don't water it immediately, this sprout, they will die. You said that there are standards in terms of row spacing and plant spacing, so I have a question. If the row spacing is too narrow or too wide, what will happen? Well, we have to be up to the standard of agriculture and also up to the operational standard of machines. So we need to combine these two standards together. And if we have a row spacing that is too narrow, you can see that we have to lay an irrigation belt. And if the space is too narrow, it's highly likely that the machine will damage the irrigation belt. So if you don't have precision mechanization, you will end up ruining everything. So you said it very well. We have to be compliant to the standard, and we need to follow the row spacing standard. And we have a fume. So is there any requirement? What kind of fume are we applying? And right now, in order to improve the temperature and prevent and guard against humidity, we are applying the black-colored fume. Why do we do that? Well, this is because of the climate condition, because the black-colored fume, it can enhance the temperature and reduce the humidity and drought. In other parts of the country, they use a white-colored fume because they don't have a lot of weeds. So by comparison, the white-colored fume is more translucent, but when we use the black-colored fume, we have a lower light transmittance, so that the weed beneath will die. So if you take out the soil beneath the black-colored fume, and you can feel some humidity in it. So just as Director Jin has mentioned, when the soil is protected by the black-colored fume, the humidity can be returned, the temperature can be guaranteed. So we have a low light transmittance, and we can contain the growing of weeds. So that is giving a lot of space for the growth of tomato sprouts. So do we have any standards for laying the fume? According to the growth pattern of the sprouts, we need to ensure proper width and length. So this is 1.25 meters wide in order to ensure ventilation. The field furrow spacing is designed as 1.45 meters. So this is the technical standard in Xinjiang. Particularly in early spring, the temperature is very low, and we have sandstorms. And when we lay the fume, we have to make sure that it is done 20 days in advance of the replanting season. Why do we do that? Because we want to increase the temperature of the soil and retain the humidity. Well, let me take one sprout out and let me show you. So we want to provide a warm environment for the growth of the sprout. And of course, we have to put it back. And so you talked about the laying of the fume and the technical standards of the fume. And in this field, we have a network of irrigation belts, and you're using drip irrigation. How important is this? So drip irrigation is very important. It can save water, and also you can ensure that the water drop is put directly at the root of the sprouts. And we have to deploy operators to switch on and switch off the valve. So drop irrigation truly is a water-conserving technique, and right now we no longer need to send operators to the field, and they have a smartphone that they hold, and they can just do it on their phone remotely. So we have drop irrigation, and so can you tell me what irrigation was like in the past here? So in the past, we just pour water, channel water into the whole field. So we waste a lot of water, and in the past, for one farmer, you can maybe at most manage 200 mu of land, but we are talking about the land of 1,200 mu, and right now you only need 3 to 4 people, so it's highly efficient. So with the drop irrigation technology being applied, the field management efficiency has increased, and also the quality of tomato planting is also enhanced. So this is a fairly large area of field, and I talked to the farmers, and they told me that traditionally they were growing a small slice of land, but right now we are managing a whole large area at the same time. And does that help the quality of growth? Yes, and we are using high standard food and high standard agriculture machines, and we integrate all the small slices of lands together. So this is able to enhance the yield of the cropland. So to manage such a large area of cropland, and in Yanji County and in BeiDou, how popular is this agriculture model? So we have been practicing this model for quite some years, and I can tell you that the yield can be enhanced by 80%. So what is the standard of this model, and what is the purpose of that? So we want to ensure food security, and right now we are planting cotton, industrial tomato, and pepper. So these are economic crops. So we have great sunshine conditions and a drastic temperature difference within the day, and this is very suitable for tomato. And I heard that this is also a main producing area for chili pepper. So what is the difference between pepper and tomato? Well, there's a big difference. For the pepper sprout, we have only one stem, and the tomato sprout is branched. It will split when it grows up. So there is also differences in terms of the seedling standards. And for the pepper, we mainly want to obtain the pigment. For tomato, we are going to use that to produce ketchup and dried tomato fruits, some of the food supplements. So you talked about the difference of growing tomatoes and peppers, and I'm very curious. And where do those tomato seedlings come from? Well, they were initially planted in the greenhouse, and 40 days and 50 days earlier they were in the greenhouse, and just like what you see right now on the screen. So you can see that this is the tomato sprout for machine-supported replanting. You can see that you can feel that there is a higher level of humidity at the root level, and also it's split here and it's branched. At the roots, you can see the color is in red. It's a red stem, and that means the fibration is ready and it's suitable for replanting by machine. Otherwise, it's too tender, and if you use the machine, you will hurt the root. So the seedling would normally take 40 to 50 days. When can you tell that it's ready to be replanted into the large field? So you need to trace that back by time, and in Yanji County, in early February, you can do the seedling cultivation, and in early April, you can replant it. And you have to look with your eyes, and the stem has to be straight, has to be in red color. So when we are using the machine hand is able to grab 8 stems at once, each time. So that means that on this plate, we have 128 such sprouts, and you cannot miss any single one. And the stem also has to be thick enough. It has to be suitable to be grabbed by the machine. And also it has to be 15 to 18 centimeters tall. If the sprout is too high, then it may be stuck in a machine and reduce the overall efficiency. So basically, we put all the sprouts in this plate, and is this plate well configured with the machine? Yes, it is. We have standards at every link, and the width and the length and the number of sprouts are well defined. For this plate, for example, it has a thickness of 0.1 millimeter, and the length and the width is precisely designed so that it can be pushed into the machine, and we have to put 128 sprouts on one plate. So you can see that the operator is able to grab 8 sprouts each time and put them in the field. So this is the sprout seedling. And how many of those do you have in the greenhouse? Well, it depends on how big the greenhouse is, and if we have a big greenhouse, then maybe it can give you 20,000 such sprouts each time. So when the farmers are cultivating the seedling, when do they start? In which month do they start? At the end of January, even before that, we have to be ready. You need to sanitize the plate, clean it up, and then in early February, you can use this wholly automated seedling machine, and you can put all the sprouts in the plate, in the little boxes, and then you raise the temperature of the greenhouse, you water it, and then in early April, they are ready to be shipped out of the greenhouse. But before they are shipped out, you need to change the water. So that means when they are shipped out of the greenhouse, there is some water content at the root level, and within 1 day, they have to be replanted into the larger field. So you need to ensure that when they transition from the greenhouse into the field, the sprouts can survive this 1 day of time lapse. So does that mean that we have different types of seedling, for example, early and intermediate and late stages of the seedlings? Yes, in order to extend the planting season, we have cultivated different types of seedlings. So this is designed as such to ensure that we have a flexible planting season and a long planting season. In the past, we just have one tomato seedling, but right now we have seedlings that mature early and late, and so that means that even in July and September, you can plant some tomatoes in order to also ensure the replanting quality. We have introduced some new seedlings right now. We can grow tomatoes that's resistant to crashes in the transportation cycle. So the replanting machine, the harvest machine, is now able to transport all the tomatoes into a large basket, and we are able to identify the qualified tomatoes, and then those tomatoes are shipped into the processing factory. So after the tomato is harvested, do we need to do anything on the field in terms of field management? And the first thing you need to do is to water the field. And after that, you will have to wait for like 20 days. For these 20 days, you don't water the field, and you will have to wait till the roots grow downward, deeper into the soil. And after that, you need to supply water in order to ensure a high yield. And when the tomato grows into certain stages, you need to stop watering it and stop deploying fertilizers in the field. You need to get ready for the final harvest. So you can see that we have two types of products on this table, and can you tell us more about these products? So when the tomatoes are processed, and what kind of end products that we can ship onto the market? So 90% of the tomatoes are made into ketchups like this. And we also have dried tomato fruits and canned tomato jam, and also tomato slices, and this is a food supplement. So right now in BeiDou, how many factories and enterprises do we have in this sector? In BeiDou, we have 19 enterprises in this regard, and in Yanqi County, we have 6 of them. So those processing enterprises, do they only process tomatoes from here, or do they also process tomatoes from elsewhere? Well, for tomatoes, they are very fragile, and they cannot be transported to a long distance for reprocessing. So in BeiDou, we have enterprises and factories that process tomatoes, and we can handle local tomatoes and also nearby counties, only nearby counties. So what is the resource advantage of BeiDou in terms of tomato? So tomato contains a lot of pigments, and this is a drastic advantage of ours. We have long hours of sunshine and a drastic difference of temperature within one day. So that gives you the best quality of tomato. According to our measurement, the pigment of the ketchup reaches 60 milligrams every 100 milligrams. Globally, it's only 45 milligrams every 100 milligrams. So that means we have a higher quality and better quality of tomato. So we talked about the replanting machine, the management of the field, and also the reprocessing, the difference between tomato and pepper. And we can also see a lot of the replanting machines behind us. And so in BeiDou and in nearby regions, can you give us a general introduction about the development of agriculture mechanization? In 2004, the main crop in BeiDou registered a mechanization level of 97%. And when we lay the fumes, and we have a particular machine, and when we spray the sprouts, we are using the machine. And when we harvest the cotton, for example, we are also using machines 98% of the time. So for tomato plantation, it is the same. From seedling in a greenhouse to replanting in the field and to harvest, it's 100% machine supported. So in BeiDou, we grow wheat and corn and cotton, and we also grow pepper and tomato, and we also plant sesame. So this is also an economic crop. So thank you very much, Director Jin, for giving us the introduction. And so we also grow coming here, and so this is truly very promising in terms of economic benefits. And we have been here for a couple of days, and we see with our eyes how the locals are using agriculture machines, how they are relying on a machine to select the seedlings, loosen the soil, replant the tomato, and cover the soil and press the soil. So apart from the machines that they use, one striking fact is that they are relying on BeiDou navigation system to enhance the overall replanting efficiency. On the other hand, it has reduced human labor input. And in this live program, that you can see that they are following a reasonably straight lane and line. So because of the navigation system, this automated replanting machine is widely applied, and this is significantly enhancing the rate of mechanization in agriculture, and this is due to the meaningful and active explorations of the local technicians, and they are willing to identify new seedlings, and they are also able to constantly develop their agriculture machines and the level of mechanization. So BeiDou is a major producer of tomato thanks to its very favorable conditions. So in recent years, the mechanization level is increasing. This covers tomato as well as other plants and crops. For tomato plantation, it's 100% mechanization. So this is truly a very high level of mechanization. And starting from early April and all the way to early May, the tomato planting season will reach 120,000 mu, and the local authority has deployed a great number of replanting machines to support this work. And here, we would like to wish that they can have a smooth replanting process, and we wish them a great harvest going forward. All right, this is all from BeiDou of Xinjiang. Until next time, bye.